All right, so since now we know how a slot works, we need to talk about name slots, and this is going to be super simple because you already know slots. You can have multiple slots with different content going on within the same component, and we can target them by naming them with an ID and putting them inside its own template. I know it sounds confusing. I'm just gonna do it right now. So I want to use this as a named slots, as a named slot. If I wanted to do that, I need to do template open and close, and I put everything I want inside. Now, since we have a template, we need to add an ID, and we do this by doing v and then slot, and this equals to, whatever name. We just need to do it like that. So I'm going to call this brands because, we can. And then inside, inside of the template, the other one, the brands, we just need to catch it with that name. But before, I want to have more slots because the idea of having named slots is that we can create many and then we can put them whenever we want, whatever we want. So template, let's say that this one is going to be just a div with some other content, and we still need to name it v slot, and I'm going to call this other. So we have two different slots, the brands and the other one. And then whatever is that you do right here, I'm going to say strong and then maybe default slot. Whatever is that you do that it's not a named slot will be passed as a default slot. No, no naming, no ID, no nothing. So now in the child component, we need to, use the slots with the ID. If I want to display the brands, the slot called brands, I say name and then brand. I guess we use brand or brands. Brands. All right, so brands. If I want to display the other one, well, it's going to be the same, but other. And if I want the default slot at the bottom, I'm going to say just slot. There we go, slot. If I save it and we go to the application, we can see that we have still the brands, the brand, which is the brands. Then we have the other one, which is going to be some other. And then we have the default slot. Now with the default slots, you need to be careful because let's say that I go maybe right here at the top and I do something like content at the top, right? So content at the top. Since we are rendering by slots, this one is at the top and this one is at the bottom, but they are part of the default slot. So everything will be summed to this section. If I go and check it right here, notice that the content at the top and the default slot are right there at the bottom. They are just summed on the same component. And of course, right here, you just can do whatever you want. Maybe I want the brands on top of the title and, maybe this one before the other one it will change the order, but the slot is the same slot, right? We get the list, the title, and then everything else. Right, so now it's time, and I'm going to close everything. It's time to move on to the next topic, which is going to be the life cycle of a component.